Take it back to the early 90s, teenage years for some of us. We was teenagers, early 91, 92, 93, whatever year it was, probably 90. But you'll see, they mad, yeah. It's, the losers, they just keep losing. They don't want to quit. And people keep working, but here we go.
For you make me take this to 11 to another level. I come up with your wins. You go down with the devil. Now on through the depths of hell, where the rest of your bust ass homeboys dwell.
The rest of your bust ass homeboys. Alright. Now, y'all want to say, what are you talking about now? So I saw this morning, and I immediately thought about this. Because basically, they won't let it go. Again, weak ass Democrats.
Then he would not have been. Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today we got to talk about this absolute absurdity. It being 2024, 4 years removed from the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting, which within 15 minutes, all of the videos were out there in the public, so anyone and everyone could know exactly what went down in the history of ever, because again, we have the video of it.
You see why I thought of that verse while I was watching. I was doing my stretches, about to take my shower. Stretch or push up, about an hour and a half ago. And then by the end of it, it just made because it's so these Democrat communist liars are so irritating. But then I went to the channel that actually produced that made the video. What's it called? The Young Turks or whatever the fuck. And again, he's a white boy, some bitch. They're lying and just straight up lies. But it basically, you go through the comments though, you can see everybody was just tearing them a new one. They're just stupid. It's just plain stupid. It's not even propaganda. I mean, propaganda is stupid, but this is worse than propaganda because nobody's buying it. In the past, maybe you could have lied like this when propaganda was new, right? I've been said that. It's like Daffy Duck. Remember he did that one trick to beat bugs, and the bugs so low down and dirty. He's like, "Encore, Daffy. They want an encore." Yeah, but unfortunately, I can only do it once, because he's a ghost going up. Because Daffy's like, y'all are Daffy. Y'all killing yourselves to win so bad and compete, and you lose every single time. Then you have to do something that you only could do once. And that propaganda stuff, it worked for Hitler, but it's not gonna work no more. Everybody knows now. Nobody falls for lies. Only real stupid people, real jealous people like Hitler. You're just really jealous. Are the only ones going along with the Democrats because they know it. The propaganda isn't working. They just know that they're evil and jealous and losers. So they're going along with it like, fuck it. If I can't have it, nobody can. And so, yeah, everybody's like, just get over it. The dude won. Nobody was saying, oh, he deserved to die because he touched little kids, and he was a convicted for four of them, little boys, four little white boys. He's a white dude. That wasn't it. He the one chased down Kyle. I don't know no nigga that gonna let you chase him down and take it. He got a rifle. Every nigga I know, if he holding a rifle, he's not running from you. First of all, like Kyle did. I don't know nobody who's gonna run from you. It's two of y'all or three of y'all, and he got a rifle. He's not running from you. Nobody I know. So I don't know what these white folks talking about. Oh, Kyle, he shouldn't have been there. No, he got a right to. And like they said, it's over state lines, but it's only 20 minutes from his front door where the riot was, or 15 minutes. And you see somebody with a rifle, and you run up on them. Yeah, that's what we call the hood. Don't run up on. Yeah, don't run up. That's the first thing gonna be out my mouth or anybody. Don't run up on me. Is you gonna rack your rifle, right? Seriously, you're not playing. You're not showing. You're not trying to show off. You dead serious. Don't you run up on me. And this fool ran up on somebody with a rifle. I don't care who he is. He young. He saw a young white boy. He thought, I'm take his shit. Nigga, you crazy.
But yet, those folks over
Yeah,
at
and that's what
TYT
happened. And so now all y'all doing is giving us more to laugh at y'all. Crazy, cry about it. He killed Kyle. Yeah, he killed them bitches. That's what they deserve. You running up on somebody like that? That's totally crazy. You get what you deserve. Anybody else, yeah, leave that motherfucker alone. Let's go over here. You know, you got a whole city to tear up and you go after him. That's just stupid.
specifically John Idarola and
Oh, but yeah, I got my little pieces from Amazon yesterday. And I guess they're mad about that. You know, when I came out here, I was, for some reason, said check your camera. Then there's some FedEx guy running across the goddamn yard like a ferry. And then as you go further, there was one of the co-hosts, a female. You know, again, I already know. I don't care what you say. She been BLM to death. You know the dudes and probably the lesbians. Who knows? They put on the strap, but she been BLM to death. So she got dick on her brain. You know, they've been gangbanged her. And anyways, there's when I first came out here about 5 minutes ago or something, or probably 15 minutes ago, I checked the camera, and then there's a FedEx guy running across. Like, I guess he parked somewhere else. He's running across the goddamn, the front of the house. But anyway, yeah, I got so I could fix the gate and some cranberry juice. It's good for your kidneys. That's another tip you got from me. But anyway, back to this.
Francesca Fiorentini have decided that no, actually, Kyle Rittenhouse is still guilty because we have this so-called new evidence that proves that Kyle Rittenhouse used his Jedi mind tricks in order to convince people to attack him on video, reach for his gun, and thus creating a situation reach for his gun and
Yeah, you go cry because your little your guy who like little boys tried to be tough and riot. It wasn't in the protest. Yeah, he tried to riot and rob and steal and got smoked. You gonna cry about it? Yeah, your bust ass homeboys dwell in hell.
thus creating a situation where he could sinisterly murder them. And we're going to get into this, but before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Oh, give me the money. Give me the money. okay?
Now, to be clear, right off the bat, we are talking about the Damage Report, which is in the TYT network. It is hosted by John Idarola, but it is not the TYT main show, the TYT proper show, where Anna Kasparian has since heard many a times referencing the crossing of state lines.
Wouldn't go out of his way to go to a protest who crossed state lines. He drove from Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, again, he drove from Illinois to Wisconsin. It's not like he was in his front yard and he was approached by a group of individuals who posed an imminent threat to his life. He drove across state lines in a state that he doesn't even live in, because obviously we're dealing with a 17-year-old from out of state, and then he crossed state lines with it.
It's a good mashup. I mean, how many times, I ain't even gonna count, did she say it on different days when that was going on? So every day she just said it. And there they go again. Each day they get closer and closer. You know, they was over there. Yesterday they was over there. Now they flying directly over.
Cross state lines, meaning he traveled across state lines. He traveled there from out of state, who again traveled across state lines, so he did not cross state lines with an illegal gun.
Come out and say that she has seen the information that was previously obscured from her by the left-wing media and said that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, which we all knew. But John Idarola still holding a candle for Kyle Rittenhouse being guilty, being an evil white racist filled with evil white racism, even though there's no evidence of that, and what he's going to present is not evidence of that.
At this point, you probably don't need to hear a person like me with my political opinions tell you, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse may not be a great person, and his accounting of what happened before he killed two people might not be 100% accurate. I mean, after all, I don't know the guy. I'm not going to be persuasive.
So John Idarola starts off by saying, you don't need somebody from my political persuasion to tell you that Kyle Rittenhouse isn't a good person, and his account of events before the shooting aren't actually accurate, and the truth is, no, we don't. There are videos of what went down that specific night. You can see people chasing him, like Joseph Rosenbaum, Kyle Rittenhouse running up until the point where he was trapped, Rosenbaum lunging for the gun, and Kyle Rittenhouse shooting him in that scenario. And by the way, the reason why this is such an unambiguous self-defense case is because if a crazy person chases you, and the most obvious thing about you is a giant rifle that you're carrying, you have an obligation not to let said crazy person grab that rifle from you, especially if he's threatened to kill people earlier that day, like Joseph Rosenbaum did. Now, it also turns out that Rosenbaum is a convicted pedophile, raping 5 boys between the ages of 9 and 12 years old. He was out of prison. He recently committed a domestic assault in which he was told that he could no longer live where he was living, so he wandered to the protest, ended up there, was looking for a confrontation, and all of that is backed up by video evidence as well. But John Idarola says somebody on the inside is going to tell us different, and they're going to reference something that, by the way, in no way, shape, or form does anything to nerf the self-defense claim of Kyle Rittenhouse.
What if there was someone who did know him and is now spilling the beans? Well, we actually have that.
I mean, there's no spilling the beans. Before we even watch, it's like, it don't matter what he said. He chased him. You're trying to say he placed himself. Basically, you're saying, like, it's like what you're trying to say, a chick who got on short shorts and no drawers, or either a short skirt, and literally sitting like in my chair or something, or in the club or in a bar full of men, and just sitting there with a cooch wide open, with a short skirt on. And then, I guess I'll start shooting the dude. Is that what he's trying to say? Yeah, looking like a trap. So you're saying Kyle, what is this? The only thing they're trying to say how it was murder, that Kyle went and said, I'm going to look like a juicy steak, and then I'm just going to stand there and look innocent with a rifle, and these guys are going to come after me, and then I'm going to run a little bit, and they still going to come after me. Either way, he ran. He retreated, and he had a rifle. And they had a skateboard. That's another thing. They had a skateboard or 2x4. And that is definitely a deadly weapon. Like I said, I know for a fact. I talked about this before Kyle Rittenhouse because it one, like I said, it shows not just myself, my friends. When I was 14, we all knew why the guy, our friend, or, not the guy, why the shooter got off. Because I told you what happened. Everybody, this is word on the street before he even didn't know. No charges. But they having an argument, and the dude hits him with a bat. And I'm to this day think he could have shot him the first time when he first raised up to hit him the first time, but he blocked it. There was people there who saw the whole thing, so it wasn't just his word. And he told him, "Don't do that again." And he raised up to do it again, and he shot him, and the dude died. Same thing, no charges. You could kill somebody, or brain damage, or break their bones, or whatever. They can't fight back. So yeah, a skateboard is a deadly weapon. Let somebody beat you with a skateboard. If you swinging a skateboard at somebody, yeah, they can bust your ass, and that's the end of it. We're not gonna change the laws because some white dude also is a pet, and yeah, that's probably his problem. They got blackmailing this dude, the one talking about Kyle. Yeah, we got evidence.
If there was someone who
Him.
did know him,
Yeah,
it is
look at the smirk on his face. Yeah, we got him now. We got him.
spilling the beans. Well, we actually have that. It's his former spokesperson who has apparently had enough of Kyle Rittenhouse's lies about what he believes and what he intended to do and all that stuff. And so now he's revealing it.
So here you have this former spokesperson saying, "Oh, I knew all this stuff about Kyle Rittenhouse going in, and yet I still decided to work for him as a spokesman because I believed in the self-defense case and all of that. Also paid no attention to the fact that I was just recently fired, but he says he has the goods on Kyle. He says he has the evidence, and you could just see John Idarola frothing at the mouth in order to condemn this kid.
Like a rabid dog. Like the rabid dog. That's what I said. You got these Democrats. They won't stop. This is a new video they're making about something that happened years ago, trying to bring it back up. They're desperate rabid dogs. Like he said, frothing at the mouth. They're rabid dogs. There's only one thing you can do. There's no cure.
As a guilty person.
And so he's his former spokesperson, and he said, "My first impression was a scared kid, arrogant, oblivious to the world around him. When he was telling me about the story, I believed he was being sincere. I believe things he told me that I now understand to be one of his many lies, and that hurts. That sucks."
Okay, so this is supposedly the goods right here. You have Kyle Rittenhouse sending text messages in response to a CVS shoplifting that he saw, that, by the way, we have video of. It's the video that the prosecution tried to enter into evidence, but it was considered propensity evidence, aka something that was not applicable at trial. But John says this new revelation, these text messages are going to tell you everything you need to know about Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse and his evil white racism, and the fact that he somehow Jedi mind tricked Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and Gage Grosskreutz into attacking him.
He believed his self-defense claims initially until he learned of a number of text messages that Rittenhouse had sent in the weeks leading up to the killings. So, the texts were in response to seeing shoplifters at a CVS pharmacy on August 10th, a little more than 2 weeks before the shooting in Kenosha. Here is some of what Rittenhouse said. "The world is disgusting. I wish they would come into my house. I will effing murder them."
So many of you out there in the audience are thinking to yourself right now in this moment, okay, those are the text messages about the CVS shoplifters. When is John going to get to his point? When is he going to present the evidence, present the proof that Kyle Rittenhouse did not act in self-defense, that the videos of him acting in self-defense don't actually exist anymore based on these text messages, because he didn't present anything there that contradicts the evidence that we've seen related to this specific incident. In fact, John seems to be just making stuff up based on his limited showing of these text messages, even though this is not proof positive of anything that he's claiming.
The world is disgusting. I wish they would come into my house. I will effing murder them. So he said...
So you gonna let people just come in your house and find out what they want? No, you don't have a duty to ask what you want. You know, if you need help, if anything, bang on the door. I seen, you know, there has been the people that get shot banging on people's doors, but you know that's why the rest of us don't do it. Seriously, it's been times I needed help in the middle of the night. You know, I'm ex-military, but that's the thing. I'm ex-military, so I just hike it. You know, I live in cities, so more than likely I ain't too far from home. And if I am that far, oh well, it's just an hour walk through the city blocks. You know, but in the day of cell phones, you don't have to do that no more. But even back then, though, I had cell phones, but I ain't had no money probably, whatever it was, like it was '04 or something, '06. So I ain't had no money for a tow truck, and I ain't finna call nobody. So you just gotta walk home and go get your shit in the morning, you know, whatever. You know, when everybody's up, yeah, when, you know, everybody's up now, you know, hey man, can you go, you know, you gotta go get your truck and shit. But so no, nobody, and even Kamala said live on air, was it on Oprah? Yeah, you breaking my house, you getting shot. So what are they doing? Well, who's in charge of the communists? I'm talking about not Kamala or Biden. You know the communist organization. You know Klaus Schwab. Who's in charge? Making these decisions. Why would you bring this up after Kamala herself said, if you break in my house, I'm shooting you?
If there was someone who did know him and is now spilling
for him as a spokesman because frothing at the mouth in order to condemn this kid as a guilty person.
And so he's his former spokesperson, and he said, "My first impression was a scared kid, arrogant, oblivious to the world around him. When he was telling me about the story, I believed he was being sincere. I believe things he told me that I now understand to be one of his many lies, and that hurts. That sucks."
Okay, so this is supposedly the goods right here. You have Kyle Rittenhouse sending text messages in response to a CVS shoplifting that he saw, that, by the way, we have video of. It's the video that the prosecution tried to enter into evidence, but it was considered propensity evidence, aka something that was not applicable at trial. But John says this new revelation, these text messages are going to tell you everything you need to know about Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse and his evil white racism, and the fact that he somehow Jedi mind tricked Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and Gage Grosskreutz into attacking him.
He believed his self-defense claims initially until he learned of a number of text messages that Rittenhouse had sent in the weeks leading up to the killing. So, the texts were in response.
The bottom line, he didn't go there and just start shooting. I hate you writers. You stealing. You are. They was. You stealing, tearing up shit, burning shit down. Fuck y'all. Brr. He didn't do that. Or with that, brr, he got a rifle. Doop, 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 doop. You know, no, he didn't. He didn't, you know, do that. That's the end of the story. End of it. But anyway.
Lifters at a CVS pharmacy.
Then this dumb chick.
I know that one of the families of
that you will deal with them with the force required for them to do so. That being said, according to John Iadarola, if you say that in any context, and then later on video from multiple angles, you're attacked by multiple people in the most unambiguous example of self-defense humanly possible, then you're still guilty because you said at one time you would defend your home, and that's you murder fantasizing, according to John Iadarola.
What do you think?
I mean, well, why not? I know that one of the families of those who was murdered by Rittenhouse is actually seeking damages based on this evidence. I mean, and that we now know about his spokesperson coming out based on a documentary.
He should sue him back. You know, it's like, nah, no, your crazy son They had a right to be there. He had a right to. It don't matter if he crossed state lines. And this dumb bitch also talking about opening the case over again. Again, something you should have learned in grade school. I think it is grade school when you learn about double jeopardy. Because back then, the original Jeopardy was out. I mean, it was out for the whole 80s. What I'm saying is, the original Jeopardy was, that's what I'm saying. You learn about double jeopardy, the real what it is. You don't learn exactly how it works, or what you just know you can't get tried twice. So, and it's a concept so simple that this is a question probably like in third or fourth grade or fifth grade or something. I don't know. Wasn't even middle school. And this dumb bitch is supposed to be some kind of reporter or whatever and doesn't even know what you can't get tried. Once you not guilty, it's over. Double jeopardy. That's why you better have your ducks in a row if you're the prosecutor, the DA.
Like, look, we are in a true crime time, and they have, in fact, reopened cases.
So at this point in time,
reopen means the case was never tried. Reopen are cold cases, that they didn't know something or blah, 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 blah. Now we got new evidence. The case wasn't tried. This bitch is stupid. Like I said, she got dick on her brain. All the BLM have been up in her.
I feel it is necessary for me to remind you guys out there in the audience that Francesca Fiorentini still exists. She's actually still making.
What I mean about Jeopardy, the TV show, I'm just saying it because it was a word. And the old folks in the house or whatever, they watch Jeopardy every night. And it's like, you're learning. And Jeopardy meant danger. And the danger, it's a metaphor, the pressure. You get whatever many seconds to answer. I'll take such and such for 500, Alex. And Jeopardy. But double jeopardy, legal. That's what I'm saying. So it's, in school, it's fun. You're learning these words. That's how it's supposed to be. Whatever problem. And it means you can't get tried twice. Everybody should know that. This dumb bitch is supposed to, I'm pretty sure she's a college graduate. It shows you what these Democrats are educating people, how they're educating. It's kind of weird. I was watching Jeopardy a couple of years ago for a while. Started a little Jeopardy spell. I think Alex was still on there. He's still on there. It's probably, it's about 20, it's 10 years ago. But it was funny then, weird then, because I knew a lot of the answers. And, I didn't know what gang stalking was, but so I couldn't talk to nobody about it. Like, a lot of the answers, they didn't have to study. It was just stuff that happened in the 80s. And I'm like, damn, when I was a kid, you didn't really know the answers. And usually the person, even now the person that wins all that money, them dudes, that guy with the glasses, yeah, you got to be super, super, super smart and know all them answers. But like a lot of the answers is just stuff I knew from being a kid in the 80s. Something about Reagan or this and that, it's like, or anything, like, and the people didn't even know. I'm like, damn, y'all ain't watch TV or something, or maybe read National Geographic or whatever. But
still exists. She's actually still making content. And B, she is just as uninformed, if not more uninformed, than you.
See, he's being nice. She's just as uninformed. No, she's still a dumb bitch. I only there for one thing.
Remember her, because John made the point at the end of his little stupid rant.
Yes, women, y'all should be embarrassed about them putting these hoes in positions of power on purpose. Seriously, y'all should really be up in arms about this shit. I don't care what you've done. It's not hypocritical, or look at yourself first, because you're not trying to tell people, make decisions or influence decisions about people's lives. And especially if you really haven't done anything. But either way, you should still
second trial for Kyle Rittenhouse. And Francesca Fiorentini, who's somebody supposedly qualified to comment on situations like this, says, why not? We have a civil suit, and we live in the true crime era where they open up cases all the time. So why can't they just reopen this case and try him again? And I would answer that question to Francesca Fiorentini, somebody who, again, works for a media company, presumes some kind of knowledge related to the topics that she talks about.
Exactly. And she doesn't even know grade school level knowledge of double jeopardy. I don't even know if it couldn't have been about law. It's not law school, so it had to be definitions. Yeah, it probably was just regular. I know double jeopardy is a phrase or term and not words, but so, when you do definitions, you just, you got a list of words, right? Remember, if I remember. But double jeopardy, or maybe it was in his social studies. Yeah, it probably was in social studies. That's what it was.
With double jeopardy, which you should look up.
Or
on
maybe
your own.
history. They might have been talking about the founding fathers and all. It could have been any of it. I don't know. But yeah, this bitch is stupid.
Which clearly states that it.
You see, remember I told y'all when I started calling y'all stupid and the Democrats stupid. I told you it wasn't anger and trying to hurt feelings. No, this is legit worrying about these people who are they're in charge. Look up who was it? Plato? No, Aristotle. Who said that? Damn, I just watched it. It's on video, but it's his words. You can read it. Why democracy is a bad idea. Stupid people, and he said this hundreds of years. It's like, would you put the baker and tell him to go steer the ship? He never been a sailor. He ain't even been the cook on a ship. He ain't even been on the ship. But you just, hey, you go captain. You're the captain now of the ship. And that's what that's was it Aristotle? One of them, I don't know who, but or Pluto, Plato, whatever. But the point is, yeah, democracy. No, that's why we're not a democracy. Stupid people, and that is a fact. I use the word stupid instead of nicer words because y'all have gotten violent. Y'all are crazy and out of your minds, and I had to wake everybody up. There's no time. I got to snap y'all to attention right now.
It's unconstitutional to try somebody for the same crime twice when they're found not guilty. On top of that, there's also a movie called Double Jeopardy. It's trashy, it's from the 2000s, but it turns out if you watch that movie, as
I think I've seen that.
ridiculous as its use of double jeopardy.
That's probably why I watched it. Exactly. Most people our age, that's why we watched that movie. Who that one on the jet? That might be why. But either way, that's why you watched it because the name of the movie
actually is, you'll have a better understanding of the American legal system than Francesca Fiorentini, a news commentator on the Young Turks Network.
Look, Kyle Rittenhouse was so clearly gunning to kill people. He wanted to do that.
How are you clearly? Even if he's clearly gunning to kill people, why would you run up on him? Which he wasn't clearly gunning to kill people. And I had to go to their video. I did, as you can see, it's from 2 days ago. They're finally exposed.
Clarity. What do you think?
I mean, why not? I know that one of the families of those who was murdered by Rittenhouse is actually seeking damages based on this evidence. I mean, and that we now know about his spokesperson coming out based on a documentary. Look, we are in a true crime time, and they have, in fact, reopened cases. Look, Kyle Rittenhouse was so clearly gunning to kill people. He wanted to do that. That was his intention. And you just laid it out. He laid it out himself. Here's his former spokesperson, who honestly, I'm like, how the hell are you Kyle Rittenhouse's spokesperson? But of course, now they have a pang of conscience, and they see some text messages, and they're like, gee, maybe not. When it's all the coast is clear and it's safe and they've cashed their check and whatnot. But I know some people who don't like looking at our country through a lens of racial justice or injustice will bristle at what I'm about to say. But for people who can
Now you see all the stupid comments 2 hours ago. Everything was 2 hours ago. See, before I looked, all of a sudden, all of us, yeah, even 3 hours ago, but before I found it, anyway, the bottom line, the text message has nothing to do with somebody running up on you. I don't care how much you say, shit, somebody breaking my house, I'm gonna kill their ass. Somebody actually breaks in your house. Now, I do have a situation, and it was a real YouTube. It's a real story, meaning it's not real YouTube. What I'm saying, the dude isn't really in prison, but his situation was he literally lied in wait, meaning he cut out the lights, sat in his basement, and waited for these two white kids. He was white too. To a pair of some cousins, a boy and a girl, 15, 16. But they kept breaking in his house and tearing up shit, whatever they was doing. And he called the police. They wouldn't do anything or whatever. You know, they ain't had no proof it was them, but he knew it was them. And every time he'd leave and that, they kept doing it. But he sat in the basement, you know, like I'm sitting, but it's the basement. So he's sitting at the steps. And they opened the door to do whatever they was gonna do, and he just lit them up, right? They did. And yeah, but see, his problem was he shouldn't have said anything. I think he started talking. He didn't know the law. Before he thought he thought he was in the right all the way. They broke in his house and yada yada yada. And he told about how they had been breaking in his house and he was waiting on them. So that's totally different. That's the only case I know about that the dude tried to claim something. And honestly, all he had to do was just, he didn't even had to say the lights was off. He could just say he was in the basement. And I just had my gun down there. That's where I keep my gun or whatever. I don't know. He could have said I was cleaning it. And they come, all of a sudden I'm about to go upstairs and they coming in. I didn't know who they was. I was scared. I'm old. But he thought he was right. Because they came in his house. And he told everything. But see, that's why they always tell you, get a lawyer first or whatever. I don't know. But the bottom line, is not a game or a gimmick. First of all, don't break in people's house. Like I said, when I was 13, and I had just moved down south from up north, not knowing about guns and like that. Only criminals had guns in New York. And when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. And, if an older kid got a hold of one, the women would just be like, it was like the movies where they're like, I need it for protection or something like that. And like they're gonna take it from you. The real street. You're not a real street guy. They're gonna take it from you. But either way, it's illegal. But in New York, down south, guns illegal. Da da da. I'm 14. That's exactly what kept me from breaking it. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, I'm not doing it. Nobody tried to pressure me anyway, but it was like, even if you thought about asking, I ain't bringing in, nobody's house. And ain't no white folks. This is Birmingham. There was no white folks for miles and miles and miles. And first of all, I'm 14. I would have had to walk to get in some. So, or somebody got a car, one of the older kids maybe, we would have had to go to a whole nother city to break into white folks' houses. Why would I say that? Because, the white folks, they would have shot. No, I wasn't worried about white folks. It was only black people, the old black men. They was, when I was 14, So, yeah, them two kids were old enough to know not to be breaking in somebody's house. But I have to agree with the charges. It's like, damn, man. And you really, I can see why he said it. You can't call him stupid. That's just ignorance. He didn't know. It's like, and really, that's how one of the reasons I learned about it, because that's what they were having a conversation about. Another reason was they had just changed the law in Alabama that year, and if you don't, and he's like the cop, man. When the cop told me if you had to shoot somebody in your yard, now they changed it. You used to be able to shoot somebody like right here, the backyard or front yard we sitting. Niggas start talking shit and whatever the reason you have to shoot them. You better pull them in the house before we get there. That's what the cop said, not a lawyer. That's what because you can't shoot them. It used to be up until '88. If somebody your yard is your also your council, but by '88 now they got to be inside your house. But anyway, let them do some video about I got to make fun of China, communist China. Let me fix this gate before this sun start beaming.